went and got some hot cocoa and hot cider.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, hot chocolate.
Yeah, I got hot chocolate.
I got hot chocolate flavored water because you lied.
I didn't lie. It tastes great. Maybe your taste buds are
I was just saying, you have different taste buds, obviously. If you can do the 10-ounce hot chocolate, and you should probably do like the 6-ounce.
You know
but
what?
Then that's not very much.
Cocoa. Do 2. Who gives a shit? I don't care.
You know, I think that just means your taste buds are shit.
Maybe I just like flavor.
If you need more flavor, that means your taste buds are shit and they're not.
No, because I can taste the water that lightly tastes like the chocolate. So I need más.
I think you're arguing the wrong point, bruh.
It's fine. You're both saying the same fucking thing. You know that, right? Like, you're saying the same thing, just
I know, we're arguing the
way.
same point, but for the opposite view.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's like politics.
It is.
God, back at
We
it
should be
again.
politicians
Here
now.
we go.
Shit.
But we talked about hot
I
chocolate.
was going to say, I think we proved that's a bad idea. I think we discussed that already.
So how's life going?
Update from 10 minutes ago. Maddie has gone through a...
Mental breakdown?
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
It's probably what I call it. I wouldn't call it a midlife crisis because I'm not like...
I wouldn't call it a nervous breakdown either.
No.
Because yeah. You got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. It's a couple it's a couple weeks straight of every day being some sort of complete fucking nightmare.
Those are words.
Those
you
are the
can
great
use to describe that. Yes. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into any more detail?
I don't really even know where to start.
Okay. I would say beginning's always solid. Let's go 2 weeks back.
Oh.
Warm fall afternoon. Go ahead.
It was that day.
Scene.
See?
It was that day. I do remember the day. Today. 2 weeks ago. I do, for sure. It was actually gorgeous. It was almost hot. It was t-shirt weather. So.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It was 80-something degrees.
It was.
Yep.
It was really nice.
It was Saturday.
Yep.
Yep. Maddie was walking out of her house. Leaves were falling. Light breeze. Sorry, I'm just setting the scene here. Sorry.
What color are the trees?
Light breeze. They still have some green, a little bit of yellow.
What's the grass look like?
Still green.
Actually, still green.
Still
yeah,
green.
shockingly.
What was
with
traffic
the lack
like?
of rain. No traffic.
On a Saturday?
On a Saturday. Everybody was up in the city.
Running errands. Yeah.
Running errands. Nice out. Or going to Vallis. One of the two.
That is true.
I was going to say that's probably...
I legit didn't go there because there were so many people.
Yeah.
So.
It was stupid when we went.
Yeah.
When did you go? 2 weeks ago?
No, that day.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, no, my personal life is a little bit of a dumpster fire. Okay, you and I, we've had this conversation, but not like on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
How to say what I want to say without names or involving other people, and it's more just my perspective and how I feel. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's fair. Okay.
Without, like, I'm not shit talking. I'm not trying to be a dick. Which is actually probably the best place to start. I am not an asshole.
No, you're not.
And the decisions I make are, again, I'm going to go back to the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
For my kids.
Yep. Okay.
Like, me and Cody and our kids. Like, that is our focus. That is what we work for. That is what we try to focus on every single day. And because of how young I was and where I'm at, that has always been my focus. And it's consuming me. Like, there is nothing to me other than that, which is a hard thing to conceptualize
and deal with.
Well, and I feel like, because you and I have had that conversation as well. Because I can't remember how I worded it. What did I say?
I feel like that was our very first episode, and you were like, what do you like to do? And both of us were like, we're parents. There isn't anything else. And you're like, why do people always say that when they have kids? Like, all they are is a parent.
They take up so much time. They do.
Well, and I get that.
I only have one,
but I feel like it's still important to still have, and I understand that it is probably hard because that does consume you. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's still important to do the things that you enjoy, if just to keep your sanity a little bit.
But it's difficult because you're balancing making sure, in my case, my wife isn't doing and watching my daughter more because I want to go do my own thing, and balancing so she has some time away from the little one so she can relax and, recoup and, go from work to, go to your kid and then trying to get some sleep and then back to work again. So it's a grind when you have, especially little ones. They take a lot of time.
Yeah.
They're not as independent as your older ones.
Yep.
But I mean, that's still a challenge because you got a bunch of other external factors that come to play.
Well, and
but
you explaining that way, almost makes me want to cry, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Because you have a small child.
Yep.
And you are saying to try and keep the focus on, like, making sure my wife gets her time to take care of herself and do things she loves to do. And I'm looking at it going from 18 to 27. I only took care of my kids. There was no me. It was go to work, come home, take care of my kids. Go to work, take over and over and over again. I've never, in those years, ever had the time or energy or, I don't want to say support. My parents are amazing human beings. But, like, never a moment where I could be like, oh, I really want to do this and this would make me feel really good and I have the time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like part of that, too, is because you are so selfless.
Yeah.
You do not put yourself first in pretty much any aspect. And you never have since I've known you.
No.
It's never been like, oh, no, I gotta go get my nails done. No, I gotta get my hair done. Yeah. It's if I have time in between the 83 and a half different activities that we have to do, I might go get a trim.
Yeah. Well, and it's honestly, recently it's been Cody being like, go. Just do it. Like, stop overthinking it. Don't make excuses. Just go do it. Yeah. And then I do it, and then I'm like, that felt really good.
That was nice, yeah.
That, like, it felt amazing. I literally just did this yesterday because I went and got my nails done for the first time in a year and a half.
That they look very good.
And I got done, and I sent him a Snapchat, and he was like, how do you feel? And I'm like, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a little bit of me back just spending that hour going to get my nails done. And it's like, I don't do that very often. And now that I have, I'm like, okay, I need to keep doing this. It makes me feel better. It gives me that time. But then I get done, and I get hit with 5 things with my kids and other outside forces that almost make me regret it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, God damn, like, why did I even do that? It doesn't even matter. It was 1 hour, and now I feel like I'm almost being punished, and I'm paying for it by the next 6 hours being complete fucking chaos. And it's every day.
And then still trying to juggle spending time with your spouse as well.
Oh, God. The last 2 weeks of Cody and I is almost in passing.
Yep.
Just trying to get kids where they need to be. And we had Wednesday night was the first night in a week and a half that we were both home. And then we sat on the couch and caught up on shows. I'm like, I don't know how many people DVR shows. Probably a lot.
I think it depends. I think it's more streaming.
Yeah.
Probably it's more popular now.
Streaming, yeah.
We have Dish, so I'm DVRing, recording shows that we like to watch. Mm-hmm. And we have so many because we haven't been home. So I'm like, we are going to binge watch as much of the stuff we have recorded as possible. And, I mean, by 10, we were like, everybody needs to go to bed. I'm fucking shot. I'm barely functioning. And we just go to sleep because I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's just too much. There's too much going on. And we kind of talked about this yesterday, but it feels selfish for me to say this, but there's a part of me that wants to look at certain people in my life and be like, do you have any fucking idea what we go through on a daily basis and how hard it is? And you still look at us like we're trash. You still look at us like we don't do enough. And like we're not good people and we've made mistakes. And you could never look at us different. Like,
and they just hold that over you.
Yeah. And it's like, you can't just look at us today and be like, holy shit, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
And I don't know why everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks, I'm angry at so many other things that have happened, but I'm looking at it now and I'm like, why are people such assholes? Like, how can you not see that we're not bad people? Like, what gives you the impression that you can't... I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I see what you're saying, but I feel like a lot of it, too, is just the shit talking that people do, right?
Yep.
Because, like, your boys are very good at the sports that they play, the two little ones.
Yep.
And I feel like there is that jealousy among, like, the other parents of the kids on their team, and with the family aspect of it, it's just like, it's almost like, well, you created that. You know what I mean? Like, putting the blame back on you when really you didn't.
Right.
I mean, I think people are just assholes because they're insecure about things in their life. And I think people are really fucking good at hiding the shit that they have to go through because they gotta keep face on social media, in public. Like, you can't let people know that your life is not perfect. And I feel like that is the terrible part about social media.
Well, yeah. And I know a couple that, like you said, social media, you know, they always post every anniversary, every birthday, oh, they went on this trip and all that. And, you know, I think it's been almost a year now, they got a divorce.
Yep.
I mean, but everything was fine before that.
Yes.
Unless you knew them close enough, knowing that they had issues and argued. And, it is. And that's where I feel like it comes back to that connection you have with your spouse and, I don't know, the commitment you made initially. And I think that is a big thing. And I'll say marriage is hard. It really is. I love my wife, but I mean, we've had recent conversations. There's just, when you have a kid, or even if you don't have a kid, just changes in your life from careers to, you know, we want to move to a bigger house, we want to do this, or like I said, we want to retire at a certain time, and we want to get this all done in a certain period, and it's just, and then throwing in, you know, the mix for me on, you know, my career or doing a side deal, and just the constant changes that as a person you go through. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you change and develop new skills, and you have different feelings.
You also grow as a person.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
and you don't think changes. So, but it does. And I think that battle of still being there and loving your spouse is a challenge on a daily basis. Oh, yeah. And throwing in kids and but I mean, I want to change it. I love it, but it is, it's a lot. It keeps you going, I guess. It does. It really does.
Yep. And the like social media part of it too, it's like I post some of the kids' stuff.
But you're very conscious about what you, where you take a picture, what you post, too.
I overthink, like, really, really bad. But it's also, like, so I'm going through really hard times right now, and I post, you know, the youngest football video from last weekend, because I'm so proud of him, and he did so good, and the video's cool, and all this stuff, and I share it, and I comment. I feel like I'm almost lying, because I'm making the outside people think and feel and make it look like our life is amazing. Because I'm posting about the kids and I'm posting about Cody and I, and Cody and I are solid. And, and like that's not an issue. But like the other shit that's going on, if like you two know it, you would be like, oh,
it will drive a wedge.
I was like, you know I am not okay. Like,
yeah.
But outside people would maybe look at my social media and be like, oh wow, she's really got it together. Yeah. But you don't know what's happening. So now I feel like I'm kind of lying.
No, I would disagree with you there.
Because, go ahead.
Because, I mean, especially with your boys, I mean, they're very good athletes. So, I mean, you are just presenting what is there, especially with the kids. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I would agree with you with Cody as well. I mean, I think you are presenting the truth. Yeah. And you are posting stuff that you actually think is right. Like Ashton said, you're very particular in what you post, and it's because you're putting what you really think.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think it's a thing where I am not, I mean, I'll scroll through Facebook, I'll go and like interact with other people's stuff, but I'm not posting hardly anything. I post like a handful of things in a year, if that.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're lying to people. You're just being private.
Yeah.
Because scrolling through Facebook or them swapping talks, I mean,
my gosh,
people air their shit out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to read this for the comments. You put it out there.
But like, and that's where I told you, like, and you said it too, like, would it make you feel better if you put your shit on blast? And I'm like, I legit had to think about it. It wasn't, I was very hesitant because I'm like, I kind of do. I kind of want to call some people out and tell them they're fucking horrible human beings and they deserve everything coming to them because everyone else thinks they're these great people.
Like you're saying, like right now.
Yes.
Right now, yeah.
Because I am angry.
You're at that point.
Yeah, I am angry. And she talked me off the ledge.
Couple weeks.
She talked me off the ledge because she was like, hey now.
Like we. And I was like, okay. I said, if you post this and Susie Q, that's cashier at the DG, comments, I'm like, is that gonna make you feel better?
And I was like, no.
Yeah, and I was like, but if you were to put this on like the podcast, and somebody comments and is like, thank you for sharing, like I remember feeling that way. Yeah. Like it does get better, like shit like that. And she's like, yeah, no, that would probably make me feel better.
That would make me feel better. If I had people who could relate to what I'm going through and then comment or give me some advice, like how would you handle this situation? Because I personally can't decide between just crying and crawling in a hole or putting them on blast, because it's like all these people think these are just the greatest human beings and all this shit, and they have no clue what they did to us. And I want people to know. Mm-hmm. I want you to know the pain that you've put us through, and your actions have consequences, and I know it won't happen. And that breaks my heart, because I'm like, what, like I said to you, what have I done so wrong that I deserve to keep getting thrown all this shit over and over again? And it's like, I'm not a bad person. I'm not doing anything with bad intentions. I never go out of my way to hurt anyone, ever. And it just keeps getting fucking thrown at us. And I'm just...
And I guess I will say, and I know there's not much you can do at this point, but there are some people that are always going to be like that. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And if there's any connection with those people, right? It is what it is. And it sucks.
Yeah.
That's the shitty part. You can't fucking do anything.
No.
But like, I remember...
I know that's probably not what you want to hear.
No,
but
that is the truth. Yeah. I mean, you could go out of your way and be a total fucking asshole.
I mean...
You could air somebody else's shit out on social media, but at the same time, what repercussions does that hold? What is going to happen with that dynamic?
And it proves them right that I'm an asshole.
Yes.
It proves them right that I'm a dick because I aired that all out and like put it on blast. And I'm not that person. And that's what's holding me from... That's what's making me not do it.
I do feel like you do have an out in that kind of 5 years' time.
Yeah.
I think there is an out.
Yeah, no,
It's just down the road.
It's just
we're almost
well, yes and no.
I would say for the most part.
For the most part, yes.
I mean,
yes.
it's gonna be a drastic
have to
change.
deal with the amount of stuff I'm dealing with when my kids are in college, because like their coaches, their teammates' parents, like all of that stuff is not gonna be so touchy-feely like it is now.
Yep.
I won't have to get involved.
Yeah.
They're on their own. They handle all of it. But right now, I'm like, I don't know. I get it, right? I get it. Just be the bigger person, keep your mouth shut, do the best you can. And I would normally be totally okay with each individual situation if they all didn't happen in 2 weeks. Like, it just has piled on over and over and over again. And it's a new situation every day, or added on to the situation from yesterday that continues through the week. And it's like, all of it at the same time, I've kind of fallen apart.
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard to navigate that, because, like, I remember when it seemed like shit was doing that to me. Like, it was just one thing after another. Hour by hour, there was a new fucking issue, or day by day, or maybe even a week by week. But, like, it just felt like it was constant, and it wouldn't stop. Mm-hmm. And then... And it is probably some mental disorder, but eventually I just fucking turned it off. 10 out of 10 don't recommend.
No.
But, like, I can just shut it off and be like, I don't give a fuck. Why would I dissociate, probably?
Yes, just fuck it.
But, like, and when I feel, like, super overwhelmed with something, I will just sit on my couch for 12 hours and scroll through Facebook. I'll get up to let the dogs out. I'll go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Maybe I'm drinking water that day. Probably not.
Right.
Probably not really eating. But I will legit just waste away on the couch, in bed, on the chair, whatever, and just scroll TikTok or scroll Facebook, or I'm completely dissociate.
Oh, my.
The entire day. And then I'm fucking shot by the end of the day, and I go to bed.
Dude, I wish
Is there a way to stop that?
I mean, there's plenty of,
you can
grounding techniques and yoga, meditation. Like, there's a million things you could try and do to get yourself out of that feeling. Go outside, sunlight, air, fresh air, go for a walk, exercise. Like, there's a million things you could do.
Gotcha.
The problem with me is
you need somebody to do it.
Yeah, the problem with me is too, like, all of the medications that I've been taking, they're not great for mental shit.
No, I'm sure.
Like,
not.
my emotions are all over the place.
Yeah.
There's fatigue. I legit, because, I've been off of one of them for a while, and I did start to notice a difference. Now I'm taking it again. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on.
And that's the thing that pisses me off, because, like, my house is a disaster. I want to clean it. I want to pick it up. I want to organize it. I was deep cleaning room by room every weekend.
Yep.
That's gone to shit.
Yep. Because you just don't have the energy to do it.
I don't even have the energy to, like, do basic things.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, let alone clean my house,
right.
Go outside, go for a walk, read a book.
Yes.
I don't have the energy for any of that. I can just lay on my couch and cover up and just flip.
See, and I
just flip my thumb.
Because of the kids. So then I'm just robot mode. I'm just
coasting.
I can do that too.
Where do I have to be? What do you all need?
I did that yesterday at work.
And if we're in public, it's just a smile on my face. The most fake ass smile at every human being I see, because I don't want to be here. I am not okay. But I have to be here, and I have to do shit for my kids, so I'm going to sit here and smile through it, because I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, yesterday, when I finally broke, like, 2 weeks of trying to be badass bitch right here.
Your zit erupted.
I broke.
It all came to a head. Yeah.
I was not okay. I couldn't stop crying, and it was word vomit central. Like, I just had to let everything out. And I still don't feel better.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Because those problems were still there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't go away. I don't feel better. And now I'm on edge. I'm like, okay, what problem's going to happen today? Like, what phone call is going to really fucking make me mad today?
Yeah. Well, and I think, because I've seen a couple of podcasts or interviews or whatever, and they talk about the mental health of today, and they're worried about how it's all about talking about your negative constantly. Like, you gotta process it, you gotta do that. And they're like, but does that make it worse?
Yeah, you're only supposed to do positive self-talk.
Yes.
That's the only, like, that is best case scenario. Like, take something that's in your head that's negative, that's really bothering you right now, and figure out how you can tell yourself to make it better or feel differently about it. And your brain will adjust to be more positive. And again, I was doing really good for a while. I was able to be like, nope, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't affect me. We would just work through it. But when everything kind of piles on top, you're finally like, nope, fucking done. Fuck you. I don't even care.
Because a lot of your situations, like, it does directly affect you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And it's screwed up your schedule, and it screwed up a lot of things in your life. So now it's like, you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
Because your brain wasn't wired to be like, well, if it's not hurting me, like, it's not a big deal. But now it's like, it's affecting your schedule and your OCD and everything else.
Oh my God. Well, and you mess with my kids, dude, and I will fucking ruin you. Because I don't, like, dude.
I'll be honest. I have kids in my life that are obviously not mine. And I'd watch you burn. I'd let you burn right in front of me if you hurt them.
Dude.
I'd burn you alive. I don't care.
Like, when I tell you my kids are... I love Cody. Cody's my number one. But you fuck with my kids, dude. And I think the biggest thing for me, especially in the last 2 weeks, and you said this yesterday, is things from my past are coming back now and bringing up some different feelings that I've never felt before. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I've been going to therapy. I've been working on myself. I've been trying to stay positive. Like, I got this, right? And in my head, I'm like, I am strong. And I can handle this. Yeah. And I have a voice now. I didn't have a voice before. I can use it. I can say how I feel. But then I'm running into these situations with, like, other parents and stuff. And people are saying, like, it's not worth it. You look like the asshole if you get loud. If you get in their face. If you say something. So you're quieting my voice again. You're telling me not to say anything, and you're telling me it's not worth it. It's not worth it to confront them. It's not worth it to make it a big deal. And in my head, I'm going, you're making me be silent again, and I have no voice, and I'm trying to protect my kids, and I need you to back the fuck off. You know what I mean?
I think at that point, I think having the discussion with your kid will be greater than pushing out to whoever. I think that benefits a lot greater.
That helped.
Yep.
Talking to the youngest about his feelings, how he felt about what happened, and making it more about him and making sure he was good.
Yep.
As long as he was good, then I could back off a little bit, but I'm still, like, mom in the back of my head going, I want to fucking rage at these people. But knowing he was like, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to move on. It's okay. I'm like, I'm proud of him for being able to do that. But I'm still angry.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you heard people saying, like, it's not worth it, don't say anything, I feel like that almost made it worse. Because you're just realizing that you, like, fully understanding that you have a voice.
Mm-hmm. And
your fear of that getting taken away again, I feel like that's what made you, like, claws out, teeth out, like, fuck it, what do you mean? What do you mean? Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to be quiet about this.
Yep.
I feel like that's probably, again, not a licensed therapist, but I feel like that's probably part of it too.
No.
It's like, you had all of that shit happen, bring up shit from the past, and then everybody's telling you to be quiet, don't say anything, and you're like, oh, mother, what?
You're gonna tell me what I can and can't do?
I'm gonna say something.
Yep.
But I could see that, and I feel like that's hard for people to, like, it's hard for me to realize that kind of shit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I go through life. But that stuff does come back into play. And it's not necessarily what happened earlier in your adult life. It's what happened to you as a kid.
Oh.
And, like, how you took it in that moment. That can come back later and fuck you up a little bit.
Yep. Yeah. there's so much. There's just so much right now that I'm trying to navigate and work through.
Well, and I mean, all the doomsdayers and conspiracy theorists, I don't think that helped. But that might just be my side of TikTok.
It is.
But,
sorry about your luck over there. That's where I'm
that's
like,
my biggest, I do need to just, I haven't gotten on in a while, but I do need to just delete it. Because I will fall down a rabbit hole. And then I have a hell of a time climbing out of it. Because I'm like, they make some very good points.
You need a break. You need a break from it. No, and that's where I'm like, I'm at a low spot right now. And I'm, you know, people are, oh, that's bad for your health. Or that's going to make you not live as long. And I'd rather not. I'm 36. I've had enough happen. I don't fucking want to live that much longer.
See, and that makes me, I mean, I felt that way in my early 20s. I'm like, what's the fucking point if shit just keeps happening?
Oh, dude.
Why do any of us fucking do this?
Yes,
I'll be honest.
Oh.
I was not in a good place early 20s.
Dude.
And
yesterday I called Cody and the boys were getting haircuts. And I had lost it. Like, this was right before I called you. And that was after 2 more shit storms. Before I called her, and I called Cody, and I'm like, you're lucky these windows and doors are locked, because we're on the 4th story, and I'd probably jump. I was that upset.
Jeez.
I was not okay. I was really not okay.
And that's a hard thing to navigate, because you gotta, like, you still got shit to do.
Oh my god, that's why I was like, hey, well, we gotta get haircuts, and I gotta get this kid here, and I gotta get this
so
kid
I guess
here.
I'll jump out
and
later.
I said, well, we'll save that for tomorrow, I guess. I'm like, no, I got podcast stuff today. Tomorrow I got football practice.
But that's part of the problem too. I mean, I don't think that you're suicidal.
No,
but I think you do
I
have
live
that.
for my kids, but in my head, I'm like, what is the point?
Yeah, it's like suicidal ideation.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I would never ever be able to actually do it. No.
But it's the idea of it that's enticing. Is for just everything to be done.
Or just be numb.
I would do that.
Just not feel.
Feels like I've never.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna step over here real quick.
But just
and
to not feel.
Sorry.
I mean, I used to do that with my medication.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, I think we need to up my dose. And she's like, okay, that's fine if you think that would help. And I'm like, but then I'd tell her, like 6 months later, I'm like, okay, I think we can go back down. And she's like, I'm like, I just needed to be numb for a while.
Oh, yes. I
need to not feel any feelings. I need to make sure everyone's taken care of. I need to keep my house clean. I need to keep the schedules up. I need to do groceries and cooking and all these things. But I need no feelings. Because it's all too much and I can't do it. So I would take, like yesterday, I feel like meds would have been a great thing for me. I wouldn't have cried. I wouldn't have had a meltdown. Yeah. I would have been able to just take the phone calls and take the bullshit and take everybody's different fucking problems and handle them all in a robot voice and keep going without crying, without getting this upset, without feeling. And that's what I want to feel.
So I want to bring up one more thing that you mentioned yesterday.
Okay.
You said you had felt like a failure because like you could do this when you were working, but now that you're a stay-at-home mom, you felt like you couldn't do it at all.
Don't make me cry.
Glad you mentioned the medicine part because I forgot about that.
Yep.
That's probably why you did do it.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't let your mind process anything.
No.
You were just a robot.
Yep. I took the emotion out of everything. The meds just let me go to work, take care of the kids, get groceries, do all these things, mom it up, without having any emotional attachment to absolutely anything. And I could just do it.
I'm a little confused on what your...
So was it your depression medication?
Yes. So when I was working, right?
Uh-huh.
I was still momming. I was still scheduling groceries, doing all of these things, and like functioning. And now I am not working full time, and I am a disaster. Like all these phone calls, text messages, emails, notifications from Power School. Just every day I'm getting thrown things that I'm like, what the actual fuck? How did I handle this on top of a full job? And it was probably because of my medication.
I forgot about that. I'm glad you said that.
You're right.
Because I bet that was a huge thing that not helped,
Right, but made it
but
work.
made it work was that you were just completely numb to everything. See, that's the shitty part about medications like that. There's no way to measure if it's working or not. Like, the therapist solely relies on you to say, hey, I'm still feeling this way.
How does it feel?
Like, yeah. Wow. So if you lie about it, I mean, which don't do, because that can fuck up your brain chemistry long term. And it's not something that you really should fuck around with.
So is that... So did you tell your therapist, like, that's 100%. What it was?
Yep. I was like, I don't think it's strong enough because I don't feel, like, a lot better.
But, see, so when she worded it that way, Maddie knew what she meant, but the therapist did not pick up on it. Mm-hmm. Did not pick up on the fact that Maddie's goal was to be totally emotionless and numb, to just power through shit.
Yep. And that was a different therapist than the one I have now. Because the one now is like, hey, we're not going to do that. We're not going to try and be numb and have no feelings and not make it through these situations. We're going to learn how to cope with these situations. And that's how, like, we're trying to change from the negative mindset to the positive mindset. Like, we're going to look at something and say, does it hurt you? Does it affect you enough to be a concern? And if the answer is no, let it go. Let it go. Move on.
Let it go. Let it go.
And then what I'm trying to learn is my brain is going to tell you yes and yes to both things. Like, we're going to find a way to make that hurt you.
Yep.
So that you
that severely affects my emotions.
Yes. That makes me very upset.
I mean, so that's also like a perspective thing.
Yes.
Because when you said that, I instantly took that as physically. Mm-hmm. I instantly was like, that cannot physically hurt me, so I don't care.
Yes. And that's how I'm supposed to.
Oh, it is physical.
Yes, because look at the situation with the youngest and the parents, right?
Yes.
Okay? These parents are assholes. They're horrible human beings. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Okay.
Did they hurt me?
Physically?
No.
No.
But they hurt your feelings.
They hurt my feelings. But fuck feelings. Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, sticks and stones.
No. Fuck feelings. It's fine.
Sticks and stones.
Does it affect me directly? Or even my kids?
Yes. Yeah, I would say yes.
I would say no.
I would say no.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, she's already had the discussion with her kid about it.
Yep. And he's fine. So no.
Okay.
So I'm switching from the negative and saying, yes, you absolutely fucking hurt me.
You fucking stabbed me in the neck with a knife.
And yes,
the imaginary knife.
And yes, it does affect me. Because I would 100% tell you yes and yes to both. But if I think about what I've learned in therapy and trying to not let everything get to me so much, then I can say no and no.
That's fair.
But if I stick with my normal mindset where I don't fuck with me, I would say yes and yes. Because I'm angry and it affected me. And it took hours of phone calls and trying to fucking hash shit out and meetings and all this. It took so much time out of my life and actually fucked up a couple days of my life. I would tell you yes. I would tell you yes, right? But if I look at it from a therapy standpoint and what I have learned, I can say no and no. And I need to let it go and we move on.
At this point, it is not affecting you.
No.
Or your boy.
Nope.
Well,
nope.
I mean,
not yes, but no.
Ish.
Yes.
I would say
ish.
mean,
for me, I'm still angry.
Yes.
Like,
she's still thinking about it.
If you talk to your boy right now, he would be like, "Oh, what happened? What? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that." Yeah.
He'd be like, "Didn't that happen like
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, why are we still talking about this?" Yeah, no, I wouldn't bring it
up. It's like, oh, we're still on this, all right.
Yeah. So,
but I feel like that's the difference between men and women too, right?
Well, yeah,
to an extent.
I would agree with that.
You can move on from stuff. Most of the time,
Phil,
they move on from
took
stuff.
About 18 hours, and that was it.
Yep, we're good now.
I'm golden.
We're good.
But no, I still am angry, but I'm trying not to let it bother me.
And that's a hard thing to shut off. Because I'm sure with your OCD, it's a lot worse because it's like the obsessive compulsive thing.
Yeah.
But
and to me, it's not over.
Yeah, it has not been
nothing
resolved.
has been
right now.
Yes, 100%.
You're saying right now.
I'm saying nothing has been resolved. I deserve an apology. 100% deserve an apology. I do, Cody does, our son does, 100%. And everybody else just gets to act like it didn't happen, and they're right, and everything is fine. And that makes me so upset.
And the whole point of team sports is developing that ability to work with a team and develop relationships and become a stronger team to win or whatever the goal is.
Yes. Well, and I'll be honest, like, even working now, like, in the workforce now, you cannot call anybody out on their shit when they screw up.
No.
And I am so tired of that. You screwed that up, so now I have to do twice as much work. I am 100% going to point that out to you and your boss, because maybe it's a training issue, but it needs to be addressed.
Well, and how about some accountability?
And it's exactly.
How about some accountability?
That's not there anymore.
No, you messed up. Take ownership of that. Yeah. I have no issues being like, oh yeah, that's my bad. Like,
yeah, like, it happens.
Yeah.
Nobody is perfect, and I'm not saying that I made plenty of mistakes while I was working. And it is fixable, but it creates so much work on the back side of it. Because it's not like I can just go in and fix it, more than likely. Yeah. I have to go fill out a form. I have to send it to this person or this department, and then they have to do something, and I have to wait in line because they've got a million things to do on top of that, and I've just added more work. So I try to keep it as clean as possible, and that is why, because I don't want to create more work for somebody else or for myself later on.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, if you make a mistake, mistakes are learning moments.
They are.
Yes.
They're moments for you to learn. If you're going to push it under the rug because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, what are they learning?
Well, and how is that going to affect it later on? Yeah. Like, if you're dealing with customers, which most likely you are, how is that going to affect them?
Yeah. Yep.
And is that going to turn into a bigger, like with what I work with, it could turn into a legal issue.
Yep.
And we're going to go to court about it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well,
when people make mistakes, you have to address it, in my opinion, for it to be a learning moment. Otherwise, it's just a mistake, and you can...
And that nobody's going to...
teach you?
No,
learn?
It's like...
comprehend.
Kind of...
assess.
I'm gonna bring it into my brain. What is that word?
Learn?
No.
Absorb?
Kind of, but there's another word.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Davenport.
It's probably the Davenport.
Yeah, just put that in your back pocket.
Alright, well, on that note...
Retain! Retain!
Oh,
they're not going to retain
that
the
long for
information.
retain?
I like it.
I kept wanting to say.
Tell you what, she didn't retain that.
No, that's not a word you really retain
like
in your brain.
And I'm like, I don't think that's the right word.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah, no, there's no way to retain that if there's not, like, a lesson behind it.
Yes.
Like, the learning experience.
From it.
They probably don't remember what mistake that they made, or I might not remember what mistake I made, but if you explain how it all fucking works, I'm more likely to retain that information.
Yep.
And be like, okay, not gonna fuck that up.
Yep.
But especially if you give me the reason why, for whatever, I mean, I can do stuff autopilot, like at first, like you need something done, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me how. But then eventually I need the why. Like, why are we actually doing it this way and not, like, a better way? Like, a more efficient way.
Yep.
And, or, you know, is there not a better way? Is that why we have to do it? You know, I require efficiency, and if I lack that, I struggle.
That makes sense. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed our discussion. If any of these topics you felt related to you in any way, please leave a comment below. We love reviewing those comments, and might bring those up in the next episode, and just have more discussion about life. So I hope you enjoyed the chaos. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.